Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Today's article comes from dreadcentral.com and the headline is Creepy Creatures Found in Cryptozoologist London Mansion. It was written by David Gelmini and it was published 5 years ago. So this is an older article, but the pictures in this are amazing. That's why I wanted to do it for you. We're going to start with this first picture up top here of some sort of little winged creature. Pretty strange and fascinating. Ready for your daily dose of creepy stuff. Here we go. Born in 1782, Thomas Maryland was a zoologist who specialized in cryptozoology, the study of creatures which have yet to be officially discovered. But it turns out that good old Thomas actually did a lot of discovering of his own. When builders started working on demolishing his mansion, they found the creepy stuff you'll see in the pictures below. Take a look, but be prepared to have nightmares for the next several months. So are they really undiscovered animal species that he unearthed? Or are they just a big fat hoax? Forget the meaning of life. This is something that should keep great minds awake at night. Maryland also strangely kept his youthful appearance well into his 80s. So we could possibly be dealing with a vampire here. Check out the online database of his bizarre findings here, and there's a link. So let's look at these pictures. Okay, the first one is some sort of little winged creature. It looks almost like what you would imagine Mothman would look like, but it appears to be very small, so maybe this is supposed to be some sort of fairy or something like that. The next picture here is just some little bitty skeleton. Looks almost like a little alien. Maybe it's like a little gnome or something like that is what they're trying to say here. I wish they had kind of captions to let you know what they thought it was. Here's another little fairy looking creature. Very strange. Not exactly sure what this is. It has one winged creature laying next to another little winged creature. Most likely those would be fairies as well. Here's a good picture of it where we can actually see the skeleton and the wings fairly well. Now those wings look almost like moth wings or a butterfly wing, but it's more like a moth because of the coloration of it. So if this was a actual creature and not something that he just kind of made up, then that would tell you that the wings kind of resemble that of a moth. But at least you get a very good look at it here. Okay, this next picture is two pictures side by side, and it is what appears to be a small dragon type creature. Very wicked looking. It has horns on its head and wings and a elongated snout like you would expect from like a raptor or something like that, like a dinosaur. Pretty interesting. Okay, this next one is very, very strange. It has wings, and it has a weird head like the creature out of Aliens. The movie with Sigourney Weaver. And it almost has like grasshopper type legs to it. Almost like a praying mantis is what it looks like with wings. Very interesting. Okay, this next one is a furry little wolf-looking creature. Little tiny wolf man or something. That's creepy. The next one here is a dragon. It's your more standard looking dragon, what you would expect a dragon to actually look like. And it is fairly well preserved. The next one is simply a skeleton that looks a lot like another dragon. It has the bone structure, the wings and the tail and everything. Okay, this next one is very, very weird looking. It's furry and it almost looks like something off of Dark Crystal. Very strange. Okay, and that is all of the photographs in this website here. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of all of these pictures. It's hard for me to say that this is a real thing because they are so well preserved and they're just there. They're perfect. They're right in front of our face. And it seems to me like if this was real, I mean, this was published 5 years ago. So if this was a real thing, it would seem to me that it would have been on every news channel everywhere. I mean, this is proof, if it was real, that fairies and gnomes and dragons and werewolf-like creatures, all kinds of stuff exists, if this is real. So most likely what I think we're looking at here is art pieces. This dude made some really cool looking and really spooky looking art. And that, to me, is what it looks like. They're mock-ups. They are renditions of creatures from books. I think that's most likely what we're dealing with. But, I mean, they're right there. You can see them for yourself. So let me know down in the comments what you think. If you believe that these are all replicas that were made by an artist to represent the different creatures from lore that this guy studied, because he was a cryptozoologist from London. So he studied all these different creatures. Or do you think that what we're looking at here is the real deal? That he actually had specimens that he had captured or bought or whatever, but that they are actually real specimens that he had in a collection. And now that he's dead, we get to see the collection. One thing I will say is, if these things are just art, they're very well done, because they look incredibly real. I mean, this doesn't look like a statue. This doesn't look like a doll that somebody made. This stuff looks real. But as I said, it could be that it was just a very, very talented artist that did it. So let me know down in the comments what you think. And as always, it is completely up to you to decide for yourself. See, we're going now to the link that was provided. And I'm going to read this to you. It says, "Welcome, explorer. You have stumbled upon Maryland Cryptid Museum, the life's work of crypto-naturalist, fringe zoologist, and xenoarchaeologist Thomas Maryland. This is the online archive of his unique collection of specimens, creatures and artifacts thought to be nothing more than myth. It is a mystery that challenges our understanding of biology, chemistry, and the very laws of physics. But this is no fairy tale, for he was a scientist, and empirical evidence and rational thought hold sway here. There is a lot to see and read, so please take your time to pursue the website. For more information, please watch the informative video or continue reading below." It says, "My name is Alex CF, and I am the curator and custodian of the Maryland Cryptid Collection, the study and documentation of the evolution and biology of unclassified specimens and research pertaining to prehistoric humans and non-human civilization. In 2006, a trust was set up to analyze and collate a huge number of wooden crates found sealed in the basement of a London townhouse that was due for demolition. Seemingly untouched since the 1940s, the crates contained over 5,000 specimens of flora and fauna, collected, dissected, and preserved by many forgotten scientists, professors, and explorers of obscure cultures and species. The collection also housed many artifacts of curious origin, fragments of civilization that once ruled the earth, of ideas and belief systems perhaps better left in the past. But the most curious aspect of this discovery was the man responsible for its existence. The enigmatic, mysterious gentleman that had gathered together a wealth of relics that challenged our understanding of nature, of species that had never been witnessed by the modern world, of objects which defied physical laws. Lord and Professor Thomas Theodore Maryland. Born in 1782 to rich aristocratic family, his mother died during childbirth, and he was raised by his father Edward. His father was a general in the army, but once retired became enamored with esoteric natural history, investing in profitable companies to fund his travels across the world, seeking out elusive artifacts and hidden species which reside in forgotten continents or darkened places, away from prying human eyes. They traveled together for many years until his father's sudden death. This event turned Thomas into a recluse, seeking solace in his work and befriending very few. He tutored himself in the Grand Library at Maryland House, yet also studied at the University College London on Gower Street. Even then, he isolated himself from other students. A bizarre quality of Maryland was his apparent permanent youthfulness. Even in his 80s, he still resembled a 40-year-old, albeit of odd complexion, and his few bizarre forays into the eyes of media only furthered his infamy. He was accused of practicing dark arts to prolong his life. Yet eminent scholars secretly allied themselves with him, encouraging him to share his collection with the world. In 1899, he took a small portion of his specimens on tour across America. Conservative attitudes at the time condemned these creatures, calling them blasphemous. His reaction was severe and the tour was canceled before it reached California. In the following years, Maryland extended the collection exponentially. He traveled to the four corners of the earth and learned of ideologies and sciences which astounded those who corresponded with him. He held within his ranks a legion of colleagues who would benefit from his endless search. In truth, we did not know what he was searching for until very recently. The collection houses mathematics not dreamt of in his time, of theories that we are only now contemplating. Maryland posits the possibilities of the multiverse, of time travel, of quantum mechanics. Before the term existed, Maryland is an enigma. He fell into obscurity until 1942. The Tunbridge Orphanage for Boys was contacted by a man purporting to be Thomas Theodore Maryland in the spring of that year. He wished to donate a sizable London townhouse to the orphanage for use once the war was over and children returned. The only proviso was that the basement of the house never be opened and the house never be sold. The orphanage stood by this promise until absolved in the 1960s, and the existence of the cellar forgotten. Sealed behind two brick walls, the door was only found by chance when the foundations were checked prior to demolition. The Thomas Maryland pictured in the local newspaper handing over the documents for ownership to the new proprietor was in his 40s. By the time Maryland would have been over 160 years old. The name sparked interest from those who had followed Maryland's work, most assuming him long dead, but the man claiming to be Thomas promptly disappeared, leaving no evidence of his existence. The Maryland estate was also sold off and the money given to charity. What he left was the most incredible collection ever known. Actual specimens of taxidermied dragons, the infant forms of werewolves, artifacts from ancient vampire nations, and the trappings of nefarious scientists whose existence was presumed to be mere fiction. It was this and the apparent immortality of Maryland that drove me to become rather fanatical about understanding the life of this man and his world-changing collection. What had allowed him to live so long? Where had these specimens originated from, considering there are no other examples of these species to be found on the earth? It is this that I find so thrilling and yet so terrifying. Okay, and that is the entire about section here. So according to this, these things are real. That's what it says. They're not claiming that it's fake. They're not trying to sell these things. I mean, this is just completely and totally real stuff. And if we click here on the specimens page, you can see tons and tons of photographs of these different specimens. And they are wild looking. The about section said there was like over 5,000 specimens in the collection. So we're not going to be able to look at them all here. I'm going to leave a link in the description to where you can come to this site yourself and check it out and see all the different specimens. There's a lot of different stuff here. So anyway, guys, this is what it is. I read the article. I went to the link in the article to this site. I read you the about section. They are claiming that these are actual taxidermy specimens of dragons, infant werewolves, and all kinds of different creatures. So, as always, it's up to you to decide. I don't know what to think about this one. I'm going to have to do a lot more research on this to see if there's any kind of telltale signs of it being fake. What I can tell you is from the pictures, they look real. Are they real? I actually have absolutely no idea. It seems to me that if they were, we would have heard about it by now, but maybe not. Maybe they just found them not too long ago or something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to do more research on this, and I will bring you an update sometime in the future if I find anything interesting. It's up to you. Decide for yourself. Take a look at the pictures. Go to the website. Read it. Check it out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Okay, I am back. I started researching this, and I found on the pictures there was a website, alexcf.com. I went to that website. It was closed down. But I did a little research, and I found this, so I want to bring this to you. It says, The Art of Alex CF, Techno-Occult. For those who do not know your work, please introduce yourself and your work. Alex CF. Hello, my name is Alex. I call my work Cryptozoological Pseudoscientific Art, which is a long-winded way of describing what I do, but it is very specific. I make items, artifacts, and specimens from a past that never happened. The remains of extinct species, scientific discoveries, nefarious characters from ancient continents, relics of mysterious cultures, the things you wish you could find in your grandparents' attic, or a secret room in an abandoned house. I have created a fictitious history in which certain rich collectors have spent their lives exploring and discovering, and it is my job to present these items to the public. Each piece has a story, and in time all will connect, and I will release a collected monograph of these items and a tale of their discovery. I take influence from maddening horror, Victorian aesthetic, sci-fi pulp, and Darwinian biology. So there's a whole interview here. It's a bunch of stuff, but I'm not going to read it all. The important part here is these aren't real specimens. It's artwork. This is the guy that did it. He's admitting here it's BS, that the whole story about the dude, complete nonsense. He made it all up just to sell some art. So I wanted to bring this to you at the end of this video so that you would know what I presented in this video is not actual specimens. It is artwork. And I have found now the site that proves it. So there you go. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.